Good morning. So this morning I was watching the news and it got me to thinking about everything in society that I have experienced in 76 years. And I just wanted to show you some of my thoughts on that. This is before AI and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and everything. Life was very different. In fact, the color TV came on the market in 1953, but really wasn't available to residential until the early 1960s. And I absolutely remember going to a friend's house and seeing TV in color. We only had 3 channels, and it wasn't 24 hours a day. At a certain time in the evening, the TV just went off until the next morning. And then the next revolution came with computers, and that was in the 1970s. And that's when the internet first became available. And I remember the first time that I checked out the internet, it was so different. It was space. You just were traveling space. And I remember the first thing I saw was Howie Mandel. And I thought, isn't that amazing? You can just go on your computer and watch somebody. But it was very strange and felt a little bit magical. And then after we got the internet, in 2004, we got Facebook. And that really did open up the world a little bit because you could go on your computer and see people from Japan and other foreign countries and watch things, videos and that type of thing about different countries. Things, take tours in Africa or any place that you wanted to, and that just opened up the world. And so on Facebook, which came in 2004, we started to join groups. We found people of interest, common interest, and it was really fun. My husband and I were pretty involved in it at that time, and it kind of took precedent over a lot of things we should have been doing. I remember that. We had AOL, so you had to dial in and that type of thing, but it was so much fun and so different. And then in 2005, YouTube came on, and the internet just exploded. All of a sudden, you could find just about anything you wanted to find on YouTube, and people were creating channels and doing tutorials, and you could literally find, if you had a question about how to fix your car, you could find it. If you wanted to know the latest fashion craze, you could find it. And it opened up a lot of doors. And that was about the time for YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. Well, then the next step was ChatGPT. And I confess I use that a lot. It's like having an encyclopedia right in front of you. And it has helped me many times when I'm trying to find information or even trying to find out where to go get information. That was in 2022, just not too long ago. I think the negative aspect of what we're seeing now has to do more with how people and children are consumed with AI and the computer and the internet. And we're starting to lose, I think, our humanity. I know I have a grandson who, up until a year ago, I couldn't even have a conversation with because he was on his tablet and he was playing his games. And I know that when kids are in school, they had to take the cell phones away from them because they would literally text each other rather than stand there and have a conversation. And so it became a big distraction for kids. One thing that I found so interesting is my grandson, who you just couldn't have a conversation with, his father bought a farm about a year ago, and they have lots of livestock. They have chickens and geese and ducks and cows, and they are raising Maltese dogs. They're breeding them. Well, the internet in the location of the farm was very poor. And so he got involved with taking care of the animals and doing chores. And I have never, ever seen a happier child. It just absolutely blew me away, the change in this child, just by getting out in nature and experiencing wildlife and not being stuck to his tablet or to the TV. Another negative thing is I think that we're to the point where we have less human contact. I mean, think about it. You have driverless cars, and you have machines taking care of you at restaurants, and the commercial arena, warehouses and different businesses are going to robotics because they're more dependable, and people are losing jobs, especially older people that aren't really in tune with some of the new technology. Even robotic surgery, where the doctor just monitors the machine. I do feel like we are losing touch with reality at some times, and we're losing touch with communicating with people, and we're not hanging out with our neighbors as much or with our family as much. We have very busy lives, but you can go into a public place, and chances are the vast majority of people are going to be on their phones if you look at them. If you're driving down the road, you can bet when you come to a stop, somebody's pulling out their cell phone, and even though it's illegal and dangerous. So I do think that I grieve for the lack of human interaction. I'm afraid for the future as far as what will people do for employment, because robotics and AI require very few people to monitor it. The other thing is, with AI and the internet and YouTube and Facebook, I don't know what's real anymore. I mean, everything seems to be fake news. You have celebrities, and they're cloning celebrities, and you have politics going on, and they're cloning politicians, and you have people on the internet representing themselves as something that they're not. And it is just getting crazy. I am not a fan. I literally would give anything if we could go back to simpler times when we had the mother, the father, the children. We spent more time outside. We sat down to dinner together. We were very social. There were a lot of picnics and gatherings and church, and it just was a different era. And I remember so well playing Foursquare with my friends and hide and go seek. It just was a different world, and I miss it. I'm not a fan of what's going on right now. And I hope it's not too late to correct it. But I think all we can do is try to stay secure in our own little world. We don't have to buy into all the rhetoric on the internet and Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff. And that's hard for me to say as an influencer of having a channel of 75 and living my best life. My objective was to share some information and tips for people my age if they wanted to emulate what I do, to be healthy and to be active. And I'm still a full-time realtor, and my husband and I travel extensively. So that's what I wanted to share. But many times what I see is people are drawn to very strange things on the internet. I know this because it comes on my timeline. You know, if I go on YouTube, I just get some of the strangest videos presented to me, recommended for me. And some of it is so shocking. Some of it is so shocking. The other day I saw a guy that was about 400 pounds, 500 pounds, sitting with no shirt on in a chair, just complaining about his life and everything. And he had thousands of followers. I've seen multiple cases where women that are obese are eating food and catering to people that have a food fetish with heavy women eating, and they look miserable. I see so many situations where people are living alternative lifestyles. It's just not the same world, folks. And I'm sad about that, but what can we do? Well, we just focus on the positive things. We trust God to take care of us, and that's about as good as it gets. Be with close friends, be with family, love your neighbor. It's not difficult. So for today, I hope you'll think about this, and I hope that maybe you'll protect yourself from some of this. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. Take care.